If you had to stop working right now and you had enough money to live your life, what would you want to do? If someone said, hey, you can't work anymore, but here's enough money to live and do fun things, what would those fun things be for you? A challenge that often comes up in my office is I have pre-retirees that are not really sure what their interests are, not really sure how they want to spend their time in retirement. So I put together this list. It's not an exhaustive list of everything you can do. I'm just throwing out some ideas here, and you are supposed to run with them. Hey there, Manny Apollonio here. I am a certified financial planner and a financial life coach. And on The Weirdness of Money, this show right here, I talk about all the weirdness that people have around their personal finances. And pre-retirees, I said this before, are not immune. If anything, they are more likely to be in a state of freak out or bewilderment about what the next step of their life looks like. And so I hope that this series of videos helps bring a little bit more clarity to this process, to this next phase. All right. One thing I want you to keep in mind as I go through this list is I want you to be thinking a little bit about how much it will cost, but I don't want cost to be a limiting factor while you're in this stage. Actually, scratch that. I take it back. I'm going to go through a list of different activities that you might consider while you're in retirement, and I want you to just write down which ones are interesting to you. And in part 2, you're going to look at your list of goals and you're going to look at what it might cost to fulfill or to experience some of the goals on your list. It'll make more sense when we go through it, but I'm going to just start going through this list. So when you're in retirement, there's a lot of emphasis on like making sure you have things that you want to do. And honestly, if you're an introvert and you just want peace and quiet for your first couple of years in retirement, do you, my friend, do you. Retirement is yours to design. Don't let anybody else dictate what retirement should look like for you. Your retirement, just like any other part of your life, is something you get to design yourself. One of the key benefits of retirement is that you typically have more time and you typically have more financial resources to do things you've always wanted to do. Now, these are just some ideas, and nobody is telling you you have to do these things in order to have a successful retirement. I don't even know what that means. A successful retirement is completely defined by you because it's based on what you want your retirement to look like. You have agency, you have control over how you want this phase of your life to play out to a certain degree. There are things we cannot control. Health emergencies, for example, or death of loved ones who we had planned we'd want to spend retirement with. Those things, unfortunately, we can plan for, but we can't predict. Does that make sense? Watching people live life in older age and find a new version of themselves is so inspiring, and I hope that's what you get to experience for yourself. So let's just go through the list. Learn to say no to things. Like, just because people are like, hey, Janet, come on this cruise with us. And if you're not a cruise person, you can say no. You can do something else, Janet. You don't have to go on that cruise. But Janet, if there is something else of interest that you want to do, consider it. And don't let the influence of those around you dictate what you want to do. Now, there's a caveat, like, be open to new fun things. So maybe you don't go on this cruise, Janet, you go on the next one, right? I don't know. Your girlfriends want to hang out with you, oblige them, right? Next one is, oh, I love this. This kind of goes with learn to say no to things. Spend more time with yourself and with your pets. I do that already. Okay. Oh, I love this one. This one was new to me. Get a makeover. Try a new hairstyle or update your wardrobe. Why not? You don't have to wear business drag anymore. You can show up in a muumuu wherever you want. You're in retirement. You do you. All right. Cultivate your interests. So whether you're interested in history, art, music, whatever it may be, you've got time. And there are a number of organizations and institutions that love to have lifelong learners. One of them is the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, which is offered in 120 colleges and universities around the country. Essentially, their mission is to bring non-credited college level courses to the 50 and over population. When I'm retired, I'm going to learn a language in a foreign country while like living in the foreign country, and maybe I'll take some classes on history and art while I'm there, you know? How fun would that be? But that's my definition of what retirement should look like for me as of right now. You know, travel, that's not really a surprise. People are like, oh, go travel. And yeah, but like there are different ways to travel. You don't have to go on the cruise with Janet. You can go on a research vessel with National Geographic, right? Like you can go to places and have experiences other than just relaxing on a beach. Be an explorer. Like you've got time and resources. The world is huge. I encourage you to go look at it. I put down here 7 wonders of the world. I think there are 7, and honestly, I couldn't list them. I guess I could do a quick Google search, but if you know them, you can drop them in the comment section below. I know the pyramids maybe are one of them. This next one, spend more time with family and friends. Like I said, do not feel obligated to do this if you do not want to. If you're an introvert or if you don't have the best relationship, you don't have to do anything. But if maybe this is a time in your life where you're like, I do want to reconnect with my college friends, or I want to reconnect with my grandchildren. I really did not have an opportunity to be around. Whatever it may be, this is your opportunity to reconnect with people. You know, studies have shown that the people who age well are those who have plenty social connections with various age groups. There are like villages in Japan where people live to like past 100, and that's like normal because they celebrate people getting older. Their community is designed to support them. And in America, that's not necessarily what you'll find in most places. So you have to do the work. You have to kind of design this kind of community for yourself. It takes work and it takes time, but it will be so worth it to you because you want to have connections, relationships with people as you get older. And everything I've listed here is going to be more fun, I think, with someone you can share it with. Yeah, so I encourage you to do that. Along those lines, volunteering your time is a popular thing that people like to do in retirement, and you might become more involved in your local community, join a local club, a Lions Club, or maybe your church, or maybe it's just simply getting to know your neighbors. Oh, you could write a book. You can write a book in retirement. You can take on a part-time job if you want. I have clients that do not need to work for money, but love to work in a hardware store like one day a week just because it's fun for them. What's your version of the hardware store? Like, where would you like to work if money was not the reason why you were there? The bead store or the fabric store, or is it volunteering at an animal shelter? Whatever it may be, you know, if money is not the reason why you're working, then you really can just work wherever it's of interest to you and you're having fun. People like to downsize their home, or sometimes people like to upgrade their home. This is the opportunity where they get to finally make improvements on their home that they've always wanted to do. Maybe it's a kitchen remodel or a bathroom remodel, or maybe it's making the house more accessible so that they can age in place. You've got the time, and if you've got the resources to do so, this might be the time to do it. You can come in. It's okay. I'm good. I'm almost done here. Next, you might want to spend time in nature, and nature is all around us if you're looking for it. You can go to national parks, state parks. You can go internationally if you want. Galapagos, Africa, wherever it sounds interesting to you, this is the time. You've got time. Go for it. Next, I want you to think about your health, which is mental fitness and physical fitness. It's not uncommon that you might take up a new physical activity. Maybe it's pickleball, maybe it's tennis, maybe it's golf, maybe it's swimming, yoga, Pilates, maybe you have a gym. All of these things are super important. Keeping your physical health up, maintaining your physical health while in retirement is going to be critical to keeping you healthy, of course, you know that. But also maintaining support for your mental hygiene is also important. So maybe consider group therapy, group sessions where you are able to connect with other retirees going through this change in their life. Additionally, you might consider one-on-one counseling with a therapist. You're going to go through a lot of change. Make sure you have the emotional, social support to help you. You might be going through a stage of life where, okay, I'm not needed at work anymore, and my children are grown up and don't need me as much either. And so you might now be entering a new transition phase where you're trying to really kind of redefine your identity, and having help in the mental health department of your life is critical, I think, as you go through retirement. Thanks for being here and letting me share with you my ideas for potential retirement goals. But you know what? Those are my ideas. It's now up to you to design your list of goals and then start quantifying them. Do your research, find out how much it'll cost to engage in the activities that you found interesting. And if the ones I listed are not interesting, come up with your own. Or if you have ones that I haven't mentioned, put them down in the comments section below and share them with our community. We're all in this together. We're going to have fun while you enter into retirement. If you found anything that I shared today useful, helpful, I want you to give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. That'll let you know that a new video has been released. And that helps with the YouTube algorithm and would be super duper helpful. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the comment section below. I wish you prosperity and all good things today and every day. See you later.